Here it is.
Excellent. Get me invited.
Watch with mother.
Watch with mother.
Good.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Oh, this looks like it's working properly. It's gone straight to invited for 2.
Oh,
This is going. Oh, wow.
goodness me, that was the fastest lobby entry, I think. That is the equivalent of somebody running through swivel doors.
Good.
Right.
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. However that song goes, I don't know. It's really famous, but I have no idea how it goes.
Indeed. Okay, so it looks like we have a game between MKP and IG Gym.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Bit of TDP, Derelict Watcher.
Absolutely. To introduce our players, let's not be BM. In the top right hand corner, and you are going to have to take our word for it because he's got the Hangul going on. It's a legendary Terran player representing Prime and Korea. It's MKP.
Likewise, very famous within the circle of fans that he has. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Chinese Protoss player. It is IG Jim, and what a fantastic name that is. God, don't you just love the way it rolls off the tongue?
I'm sure you do, James.
It's just something powerful about it.
It is. It's quite a dignified name as well. Lots of Scottish kings called James. You know, we've got a very early scout or proxy coming out here from MKP.
Yeah, interesting that you say proxy, and I think you're onto something there, because he is at 11 supply. He did send this out around the same time that he threw his depot down.
Absolutely.
That is the usual timing for when you want to proxy a barracks, so we'll see what he's up to here.
Well, he's not heading towards the natural ramp, that's for sure.
That's true. He's actually looking to go up to the third, maybe? Oh, there he goes. Boom, barracks.
Well, this could be over very, very quickly either way. All in here from MKP.
So lately, we've been seeing a lot of proxy Reaper play, but this time MKP is going back to the good old-fashioned Wings of Liberty 1111 Rex. You can tell there's another SCV coming across here, and he's probably going to be almost certainly building another barracks next to the other one. In fact, there we go. Boom.
Yeah, so 2 proxy racks. What's Jim got to look after this? He's got a gateway coming down, but he's still chrono boosting out probes. So could he be caught with his pants down here, Skwishy?
Potentially, and we'll have to see how all in MKP wants to play it. You know, how many SCVs does he pull? Does he set up enough bunkers? You can play it in a number of different ways. I haven't seen this been done against Protoss for a long time, so I'd be really interested to see how it actually plays out. Cybercore going down here for Jim.
So it is all very standard from Jim. He's got no idea what's going on. In fact, he hasn't left his base yet.
Yeah, no scout from him. That's a risk. You do take a risk when you don't probe scout.
And here comes the SCV pull.
It's the pain train. And he's taken 6, I beg your pardon, and he's got 2 there already. So he's really committed to this. Cybercore's only 3/4 of the way done. He is making a zealot, which will help him, but is this too late?
I think it could well be. Have we got any units out from Jim? Is his first unit about to pop here? Yes.
First zealot's just popping, and he's going to try and thwart this Marine. Good micro. I mean, it's Marine King. You know, his micro is pretty good.
Absolutely.
Wonderful control there.
Yeah, I think there's just too much coming in from Marine King here. He's got to get that bunker stopped. If that bunker goes up, this is all finished. But the mothership core's popped out now. The mothership core pushing it back. This is excellent defense from Jim. The Stalker now coming in as well to play.
That mineral walking from the probes as well, getting on the SCVs.
That's superb. Down go the Marines from Marine King. This has been pushed back, Skwishy.
It has. He's held this off with style and aplomb. There is still a bunker up in the main.
There's 4 Marines.
A Stalker and a mothership core is more than enough to handle this.
Absolutely, and this comes back to your original question of how all-in exactly was this for Marine King?
I gotta say, pretty darn all in from the looks of things. He's managed to get one lone hero Rambo Marine into the bunker.
He has. He's going for the pro. He goes after the pylon, back to the... This is... what's the word I'm looking for? This is tenacious work from MKP.
Not from MKP, but from this one Marine.
Unfortunately, I don't foresee a long future for this guy here.
4 Marines coming up the ramp here. This could change the tide.
It could. It's almost a little micro battle here. The mothership core is doing well. The Stalker is going to keep the Stalker just and push back once more.
Push back once more, and he's even dropped the photon overcharge just to be safe. So MKP is getting absolutely nothing done here.
Absolutely, but there's always a stream of Marines coming out. Jim hasn't really got a great number of units. The 2 stalkers he's got on the field are very, very weak. Almost anything, like you could blow them and they would fall over, Skwishy.
Exactly. They're very low health. He does need to wait for those shields to recharge as well. What he's doing in the meantime, he's making probes back up. Looking at the unit count, it's currently 15 probes to 10 SCVs. So MKP's still got a lot of work to do.
He does, but those Marines got absolutely nothing done there.
Oh my goodness. Look at the micro here from Jim.
It's outstanding micro. Those stalkers have been on literally 1 hit point. This stalker. 2 kills on 1 hit point. They've got 18 hit points between them, those 2 stalkers. More stalkers on the way now.
Well, this has been truly inspirational stuff from Jim here. I did wonder how well this push was going to go from MKP. Like I said, I haven't seen this against Protoss for a very long time. And a few tricks that HOTS gives you as a Protoss come very handy indeed for holding this kind of stuff off. I mean, once that photon overcharge goes down, there's nothing that Terran can really do with just unupgraded Marines.
Absolutely, and we've got Jim pushing into MKP's main base now, pushing onto the mineral line. The second command center's coming down, but it's too little too late.
Well, that's never going to
These
get
2
finished,
stalkers should finish the game off now. It's cancelled. They can kite those SCVs all day.
Oh, one surrounded. Oh no, he does manage to escape.
And surely now, it was a nice try for MKP, but we're surely seeing the end of days here. There is a little 4 Marine push back into the Protoss base.
There is. Let's see what they can get done. My money's on very little.
Absolutely. With the mothership core now, SCVs can't shoot up, so the ship core's going to do very well here.
Yeah. I mean, this is game really. I feel like MKP knows it as well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he's hoping for a mistake from Jim, but given the standard of micro we've seen from Jim in this game, that's very unlikely. There's 4 SCVs and a mule on the field, and there we go.
There's the GG.
So, how did you feel that went? I thought Jim, really, his build left him exposed to that kind of attack from MKP, personally.
It did. You might think that from looking at it as well, given the fact that, you know, the cyber core wasn't finished by the time the first Marines started poking up. But there's one unit here which I think we overlooked maybe slightly during all those engagements, and that's the mothership core.
Absolutely.
Because the longer it goes on, that mothership core is building up energy. As soon as it gets 100 energy, boom, there goes the photon overcharge, and those Marines, they just melt. I think his plan might have been to try and get bunkers up in good enough number and in enough time in order to actually, you know, kind of somewhat thwart that potential. And obviously he'd love to try and focus down the mothership core as well. But like you said, Jim's micro was superb, wasn't it?
It was really, really good. The stalkers were kiting all day. We had that hero stalker on 1 hit point. It's still alive here. It's now in MKP's base.
How many
attacking
kills?
the SCVs. 5 kills. 5 kills, and I think he got them all on one hit point.
Yeah.
Absolute hero stalker. There was that point where Jim's micro had kept 2 stalkers on the field that had absolutely no right to be there. 18 hit points between them, and that's when you've got defenders like that and you're sharing out the damage with such skillful micro.
I mean, if you've got
that's the difference between winning and losing.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%. If you've got the APM to do it, your stalkers are quicker than Marines, they've got longer range than Marines, and they've got rechargeable shields. It's inexcusable in a tight micro situation like that for a pro as good as Jim. And bear in mind, this is a player that's been sat at the very top or close to the top of the Korean Grandmaster ladder for months now. He's just not going to lose that stalker. It's just not going to die, no matter how hard you try and stutter step.
Absolutely, he cruised through his WCS group the other night.
Did he really?
Oh no, sorry, that's I'm getting my Jim confused with my Max head.
Another fine Chinese Protoss player.
Absolutely, I think Jim's very recently won a tournament.
He's been turning up some very good results lately. Anyway,
he has.
I'm pretty sure he is qualified for WCSNA because I read recently on Team Liquid that he was able to actually get his visa successfully. So I know he will be participating. I don't know quite where in the.
I think he participates tonight. Actually, I'm getting my Jim and my Max head confused, but they both had visa issues. And if you remember, I think was it the Intel Extreme Masters in Shanghai that Jim was disqualified from because he went to get his visa and was stuck at the Chinese embassy for such an amount of time he was late back from his game.
That's so unfortunate.
Anyway, open brackets / off topic, close brackets. That was a brave attempt at a cheese, but as you said, it's not seen often against Protoss. That's probably
No.
why.
I know exactly. You said it. You nailed it there. I mean, that is why we saw just how clinically he was able to hold that off, just simply with the Zealot did its bit. You know, the Zealot did its bit. Some nice probe micro on the ramp, the mineral walking to get past the SCVs and get onto the Marines quicker, and then just beautiful micro with the Stalkers and the Mothership Core. Didn't lose a unit for a long time. Very impressive. Very impressive.
So yeah, that was our first game of this evening. Jim showing off his micros, defensive skills, his crisis management. Thought it was a really good performance.
Pleasure casting with you as always, ReubeN.
It was, it was. Shall we look for our second game to cast?
Yeah, why not? If you've got the time, let's go in straight into it.
I believe I have the time. If I don't, we can always crop it off the end and do it again.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, shall we do one from the same series?
Yeah, I think that would be a good thing. I mean, they're obviously very good quality players to be able to cast. MKP, you know, fantastic micro, aggressive, exciting Terran player.
Absolutely. Well, here's one. It's from Jim MKP. It's from a different series of Jim versus MKP.
Oh, really?
Yes, they must have met in the group stages, and I think they played in the final of this particular tournament.
Fair enough. Load it up.
So
let's get into it.
Let's go.
See if we can go straight through the lobby. Oh, look at that.
Wow, it's flying. It's
Somebody
flying.
was holding the door open for me because I just ran straight through that lobby.
It's resetting those routers that does it. Every time, I don't know what goes on during the day.
Yeah.
But I get home, I reset the routers, and suddenly things start working.
I think getting a reset must be, for a router, the equivalent of having a spa massage or something like that, because they're just so much more efficient when they come back.
It's good. Now, this series is labelled Jim versus MKP 2, so I'm going to assume that this is the final series.
It is on Newcote Precinct. It is the new version of Newcote Precinct, where they've obviously expanded the lower part of it.
Yep, and spawning in the bottom left is our excellent defensive Protoss player from the first game. Our Chinese player representing IG, it's Jim.
And his opponent spawning in the bottom right. In the colours of red, he is the Terran player from Korea, playing for Team Prime, the one and only, the hipster glass wearing, the hair dyeing MKP, Marine King Prime.
Now we've got another early unit coming across the map, but this time it's a probe from Jim. Now, again, very early for a scout.
What do you think? Shenanigans?
Shenanigans. It's not particularly heading towards the Terran base.
And he's gone up to 10 supply as well, so he hasn't dropped that pylon on. There we go.
Well, we saw a Terran attempt at cheese in the previous game. Are we going to get another cheese here?
It looks that way. I mean, this is certainly not what you call a defensive pylon, is it?
No, you wouldn't drop a pylon here unless you were planning something.
I think this will be a fast 10 gate with early Zealot, and maybe is he going to go for double gates? No, he's probed up again.
First gate down.
He's built another probe. Barracks is down for MKP. Let's see if he gets gas as well. It's kind of mandatory at this point in the metagame, really. Turns light to get that early Reaper out, and there you go, 12 supply gas. So he's going to get an early Reaper.
He is now. It's down to that early Reaper to spot this going on, because it's out of where you would normally look.
It is indeed, yeah, and it's not on your ideal. It's not on your normal scouting path, is it?
No, but then Newcote Precinct is it funnels you down around the bottom of the map.
Absolutely.
So if you are going to drop a proxy, we're better than the top half of the map.
I think you've nailed it there. Jim has got himself a gas, so it's not going to be all Zealots. I would expect him to drop a Cybercore very quickly now once he started this first Zealot.
I think as soon as this pylon in his base drops.
Probably just waiting up for the 150 minerals now. Yeah, in fact, he's not making another probe. He's saving up, and there it goes. Boom. Marine King Prime, interestingly, hasn't actually built that Reaper. It is the normal build to do when you get your gas that early, but he's actually gone straight for a reactor. So what we might see is him make 2 Reapers immediately after that reactor finishes. That reactor obviously allowing him to build 2 units at a time out of that barracks.
Sorry, my tea's arrived. So.
Well, how annoying.
I know. I'm going to have to go and eat that. And then we can come back and do this one afterwards.
Do you want to pause the game and leave it running, or just start over?